So just before I joined C2C, I was in a phase what I would describe as I had the matches out. So I had the matchbox out. I was ready to kind of just burn the whole thing down to the ground. I was really fed up of this sort of feast, famine, kind of like I kept thinking I figured it out and okay, I know what I'm doing. Now I need to scale this, and then something wouldn't work. And we would go into a period of famine, and I was just really frustrated and losing losing confidence in the business and losing confidence in myself. Even though cognitively I knew I was making a difference, I could hear my clients saying I was making a difference. I was just like really fed up. And you and a few other people I look at your content and it regularly comes through, and I don't know, there was something about the messaging that just kind of got into my brain. It's like, well, maybe I don't have a system that's good enough that is creating this constant stream of business. And I thought I've got to do something about this. Either I have to decide to stop or I have to do something about it. I can't be in this limbo of like, this is frustrating any longer. And then your C2C build workshop came up, and I was like, okay, right, do it, make a decision, but do something. And so I joined.
Mm. And then came in absolutely storming, which we'll get to. But okay, so I've been there a couple of times. I'm just like, I can make this easier, or I could do something completely different. Let's burn it down. Um, Obviously you haven't. You push the button. Before we get into like what the process has kind of been like, and we will keep this interview short, but what there are so many people who do similar stuff. I don't think, because I've been in a lot of them, there are any other programs that kind of measure up to like the systems organization structure and like,
Mm.
I don't know, good vibes of the community as well. Why us and not one of those? I know you mentioned you'd seen like the content and stuff, and obviously we'd spoken, but what was it that was like, okay, this is the one versus a million other potential solutions?
So a couple of things. So one, I had actually done a program before. Do you want me to mention who it was or not?
If it, yeah,
Okay, so I did Brandon Lucero's course
okay.
before, which is all about creating content and generating business through your content, and it's incredibly comprehensive. Um, and I worked through it, and it made sense, and it made zero difference to my business. Absolutely none. If anything, it got less engagement, and I think probably because it was really American and it just didn't fit who I was, but also because I now realize, having joined C2C Build, it's not about selling. So there's no element of generating business. It's all just about the content. So if you don't have any of the systems, any of the structure, infrastructure, or the mindset behind the content, it kind of means nothing because it won't do anything for you in and of itself. So I think the massive difference is that you seem to have built a program that's got a balance between the mindset stuff, which is absolutely critical because nothing happens if you haven't got the right mindset, the systems behind the content that is going to generate the business coming in. And so it all works really, really well together. And I haven't come across a program that has done that before. I've had mindset coaching, which has been amazing, but none of the system stuff. And then I had some of the content stuff, but none of the content systems and mindset all built in together. And I think that's what's made the difference.
Amazing. Yeah, it's I don't know, because I've had all those things as well, almost in silos or in isolation, like mindset life coach, all these different things. Um, I'll try my best to wrap it into one. I
Yeah.
don't know. It seems to do its job for the most part. There's always, I mean, I always think people should have a few different coaches or help in certain areas and stuff. But um, okay, so you've come in. We have a very strict process inside C2C where I spoke to someone yesterday and they said what's just as important as the roadmap is also the list of what not to do. So tell us about how you kind of set about the process. You're in, there's a 3 month timeline there or thereabouts, depending when people join. You've got a job to do, backs against the wall potentially in terms of massive life change if you want to do something or keep doing this.
Mm.
How did you tackle things? Because I think you've come with some amazing results again, which we'll get to in a sec.
Do you know, to be really honest, I just did what you said. I I did what you told me to do. And I was really resistant to starting, particularly traction to start with, um, for no real reason. There was no real reason there. And I just thought, right, just get it done, just start doing it. And I just started. And do you know what? As much as I resisted wanting to do it, it was actually, when I started doing traction, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to reconnect with old clients. And they, on the most part, were delighted that I'd contacted them. And so it became this really pleasant task to kind of contact our clients and have great conversations and see where they'd got to. And then that generated business and referrals. And it was just like, there was a bit of my brain going, why were you never doing this before? It's such a logical thing to do and you were never doing it. So I think the results came from two things. One was a mindset shift into agency. It's like, I get to choose to do this, or I get to choose to do something else. So I choose to do this, as uncomfortable as it might feel. And then when I started doing what you told me to do, it was like, actually, this is really fun. And look, it's generating business and great conversations. And so, yeah, it was just, I did what you told me to do.
Amazing. I'm sat here all smug. It kind of reminds me because I used to do cold calling and I'd be like, oh, looking at the phone. I mean, when I was crap and I was genuinely scared. But when I got good at it, there was still resistance. Like, so I'd wake up and I'd wake up, go to work. Then I'd be looking at the phone and I'd be making any manner of excuses, any excuse under the sun to not pick that phone up and do the first dial. Um, and then you kind of realize once you like five, not even connections, just five dials in, maybe one person's picked up. You're like, I'm in a bit of a rhythm with this now. It reminds me like going for a run. The first, getting out the door, it's a bit cold. Once you're like 2K in, so I usually run like 4 or 5K, it's like, I could keep doing this for quite a while. I could probably do a 10 if I wanted to. And it's like, it's just that starting point and getting yourself off the starting block, funnily
Mm.
enough. So you've come in, you've executed exactly what you were supposed to, and surprise, surprise, there's obviously a whole host of experience, connections, past clients, and stuff that you've brought to the table as well. So the program is more a process than anything else. So it can't, we'll never try and take like full credit for anything. It's a pathway, but that pathway has led to some amazing results.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're happy to talk about financials, so I don't want to plant seeds, but what results has that yielded in just over 2 months?
So the first month was an 18K month, there or thereabouts. And some of that was legacy stuff that had taken a little while. It was big corporate stuff that we've been working on for a little bit, but quite a lot of that was traction. The second month is 10K, and I would say almost all of that is traction. So already within 8 weeks of really kind of knuckling down and starting the whole traction process, there's been nearly 30K in the business, which is really incredible for 2 months, considering where I was before, which was feeling very frustrated with a sort of really sub 10K, in some cases sub 5K months, which was just like, oh, I can't believe I'm here. So yeah, really, really incredible results. But not only that, it's not just what's coming now, it's what's in the pipeline. And I was looking at what's in the pipeline. It's like I have honestly never had such a healthy pipeline. And I've never had such strong inquiries either. So, I sent out a proposal for 33K the other day, which I've done before, but it's been joint. I've been part of a group doing that. This time that's just solely for me. It won't happen until later on in the year, but it's with a really warm client. It's got a good chance of going through. And it's just like, that is really, really exciting. Not just what's coming in, but like, oh, I'm actually seeding the pipeline for later in the year as well, which feels really reassuring and really good. And also, I know some of that's not going to come through, but if I keep doing the process, even more is going to fill that in. And I've got the highest conversion rate I think I've ever had, um, in business ever.
When I do these interviews, my brain's always, I'm always thinking, right, where's the nugget, where's the sound bite, and then I'm going to chop it up. I'm going to have to put the full length out, because it's just too much gold. Well, congratulations, because that's something. And I don't know if I've ever said this out loud. I don't even know if I've ever thought this until about 30 seconds ago, but that's not necessarily like those results are not something I'd expect from traction. Sorry, not from traction, from C2C build in such a short time. They're results that, you know, the whole aim of the program is basically get you off the ground and get your first few clients, pay for itself a couple of times over and done. See if you want to work with us further. And that's why we sort of created this front end product. So
Mm.
you've come and blasted it, literally blasted it out the park. So congratulations on that front. You bought yourself, but through the work that you've done, bought yourself, I guess, just through that pipeline, reassurance and the ability to then relax, let go of any kind of desperation, I guess. How are you, you
Mm.
know, irrespective of tangible business results, how are you feeling now?
Do you know, I think the biggest change is that sense of agency. I've got my sense of agency back. I think I was letting business happen to me and I felt like I was drifting. I felt like even though I knew what I thought I knew what I was offering, but going through the master offer process is like, oh no, this is what I'm offering. And I feel like I've got a sense of agency. I'm really clear about what it is I'm selling and what I want to continue selling, what I don't want to sell, saying no to things. Um, for me, that feels really, really powerful. I feel like I've got my mojo back. I felt like I'd lost my mojo before. So that is really, really cool. And being able to look to the future and kind of go, okay, this is how I want to shape stuff. And I really don't want that anymore. And I'm just going to let some of that go and drift. And this is where I'm going to focus my energy and my attention in the future because the process has really made me realize where I'm best at what I do. And I think I was doing some peripheral things that weren't really in my zone of genius. And now it's like, no, I'm just doing this because I love doing this and I'm really good at this. And it's helped me reconnect with that, which I kind of lost.
Brilliant. It's tough, isn't it, when you're first starting out, or at times get hard because you're like, oh, there's potential to go make a bit of money over here. It might not be the thing that I want, but it's pretty much nailed on or guaranteed. I'll go and do that. And all that does is take you away from the bigger picture. And it's very, very chicken and egg. And I've been listening to, I kind of stopped listening to business podcasts and listening to YouTube videos on my runs. And I just started listening to music because I was like, this is just me, quiet time, drown out any noise. But for whatever reason, since it's got a little bit lighter in the mornings, I've been listening to business podcasts and they all talk about, well, all the good ones talk about expanding your time horizon to give yourself options. So, you know, we have had a few clients in the past that'll hop in and be like, I need this to happen now, with that basically desperation energy. Um, and if you can just bite down on the gum shield and hold on for maybe even just a month longer, you can really do some serious damage in terms of getting rid of stuff that you don't want to do off your plate and creating this vision. I made a list. I don't know when it was. It's on my iPad. I was going through some old, like, it's just handwritten from the iPen or whatever, Apple Pen or whatever it's called. And I just at the top, wouldn't it be cool if dot dot dot? And then I've written out all these things like, wouldn't it be cool if I didn't do sales calls anymore? Wouldn't it be cool if I had a lower front end ticket program that, and all these things apart from one? I think there was like 12 on there. I only saw it the other day. I think I probably wrote it like a year, maybe two ago. They're all come true, every
Mm.
single one. So I think one of the things that you've probably done in the process, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is get fucking intentional and be like, this is what I want. I'm gonna try my best or completely ignore everything over here. And then you've plowed so much focus and energy into that that it started to come true.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's very similar to what you were just saying. Almost, I would say a year, 18 months ago, I was saying to somebody, you know, oh, what would I would absolutely love to be supporting speakers through a really big conference. So I'm helping them all create their content. I'm helping them to deliver really well. I'm helping it connect. I'm helping them make it strategic. Oh my God. And then I would just love to be on site and do that whole live rehearsals with them on site and just get them into a really, really amazing space. This year, I've now done the first part of that. And I can see from the conversations that I've been having with them now, next year I'll be on site with them. So within sort of 18 months of going, that's really what I want to do because I'm really good at this, that's where I'll be. So yeah, it just getting rid of the crap stuff. Not the it's not the crap. It's just the things that are taking your attention away from what you really want and need to be focusing on, because that's where you're brilliant. That's what
Mm,
this has given me.
yeah, I can see how lit up you are. I'm getting goosebumps as well. Hairs are on end there. Amazing. I'm really, really happy for you. Really pleased that we've been able to play a tiny, massive, I don't know, but a part in the process. Um, I love money. I love doing exactly what I want, but I also nothing lights me up more than hearing people that we've had a little bit of impact on, even
Yeah.
even at the smallest. So
But
congratulations.
do you know what? It's not so much, it is about the money, but it's not about the money. We're
Yeah,
listening to what Scott was saying yesterday. It's like, actually, for me, the money represents two things. One is safety and one is freedom. It's like, so I can protect my future, look after my future, but also it gives me freedom to do some things that I would really love to be doing now. So for me, the money is literally a route to helping me feel things, feel safe, and feel like I get to do things, get fun things, have adventures right now, and live in the way that I want to live.
yeah, because you've seen some, every week. Obviously, we ask people to post in a personal win before a business win into the community, and you've had some brilliant personal wins in that time, as well as making all this money and sort of starting to stabilize the business. There's been some big time off for you as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I took a bit of time off with my daughter and my parents, and we went away for a few days. And in those couple of days, got paid 10K. So, as in cash received while I was off, and it's just like, oh, that feels really good to be away from the business and just money rolling in.
Yeah, exactly what life and business should be like, in my opinion. I mean, every day might not be a 10K day, but that can cover most businesses for a month. At our stage, if required, and that's while you're away. And again, it's just you can act and operate from a completely different place when you've got that, as you say, the route to the safety and
Mm.
also the freedom. I've got two questions left, I think. This is one I always ask. It's a very me question. I really like it. Let's pretend that you have a friend who is on the fence about joining C2C. They're the right fit. They've got all the background. You think they'd be a good fit in the community as well, because obviously it does take a certain type of person. What
Mm.
would you say to persuade them to join?
I think I would say I have a friend in mind. I think I would say what I said to you, which was, if you feel like you've got the matches out and this is just too hard, this is a brilliant space to really clarify what you are selling and who you are selling it to, and then have a system to constantly and consistently generate it in a way that feels right, meaningful to you. And it's a brilliant community. I've been in a few communities before, and I've never engaged in the way that I've engaged with the C2C community. Everybody's on board, everybody's supporting everyone else. It doesn't matter what the size of the win is or whether it's personal or business, everybody is cheering everybody on. So there's amazing amounts of support there.
Good pitch. And if you've got a friend in mind, we will happily have a chat. But we'll
Yeah,
we'll come to that.
I
But
do.
yeah, it's
I
good to
do.
picture someone, isn't it?
She's my best friend, but she's an interior designer, so I'm just not quite sure quite how it would fit in a because she doesn't like I'm not sure how she would create an offer that was just so.
Yeah, I would have to think about that one in terms of how would you put together an offer if you were if you were an interior designer.
Yeah,
I mean, this part of the house looks tidy. This part of the house doesn't. So that's my interior design.
yeah,
Absolute like maximum. That's me at my best.
yeah.
And my wife did most of that.
I
So
mean, she is amazing, and like she's very process driven. But I have thought about it and thought about it and thought, I was like, I just can't quite see how she could do what she does in
yeah.
this format. I think, traction, the sales bit and the content bit would all work, but I don't know about the master offer piece.
Yeah, I think the offer's key, and that's why we typically stray into the coaching, consulting,
Yeah,
service-based
it makes much more
realm for
sense.
sure. And it's just easier because we've done it so many times before. We can spot something if it's off a million miles away, usually. Um,
Mm.
okay, my final question is what's next? Like, where are you going? We are very early on in the year. We're still in Q1. Wouldn't it be cool if in 2026 I achieved or I did X list?
Well, okay. Should I be sensible or should I be not
Do
sensible?
start sensible. I don't want to prescribe actually. I was going to say start sensible, go massive, but I asked you the question, what's coming up?
So what's coming up, I think this year is consistency. So maintaining those 10K months. Now it might mean 15 in one and five in another. That's absolutely fine. But like absolutely knowing that we're six figures by the end of the year. What I can see happening is like an acceleration of that. So it's not going to stay at that. It's not going to stay stable. So what would be amazing would be to get much, much closer to 200K by the end of the year. And that feels exciting. That feels also possible and potential as well, with some real thought and some focus. That feels really close. I've always kind of had a dream to get to the $250,000 mark in a year because that just feels really cool to say, and for no other reason than that would feel fucking amazing.
Yeah.
um, yeah, that would be incredible.
I don't think there's any reason you can't do it because, just like we said, doing traction, the hardest bit is getting off the starting blocks. If we look at 31st of December or maybe 20th of December as the finish line, you're already well off the starting blocks
Mm.
to that 250K target. And when you break it down, I probably shouldn't do maths live in front of people, but
Don't worry,
it's 20K a month there or thereabouts, isn't it?
yeah,
Have you got a calculator out?
I have, yeah. I don't do any math that's not on a calculator.
Certainly not live.
Uh,
Maybe 21K or something like that.
yeah, 2,800. So yeah, 21K a month.
You can do it. You can definitely do it. We'll strategize how to do that off
Yeah.
this interview. But congratulations once again, and thank you for all the kind words. It's honestly a genuine pleasure to work with you.